If you're trying to make it into the fantasy playoffs, you're trying to win the championship in your league, then this episode is one you don't want to miss. We got players to discuss, players for you to either target in trades, add off waivers, maybe they're must starts this week in week 12. I'm your host, Neil Maligno. This is the Rival Fantasy Week 12 Risers episode. I keep these episodes quick hitting. If you want longer or interactive content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Join our weekly live episodes. Typically, we have one every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. EST. We're actually doing one on Wednesday at 4 p.m. EST this week just because of Thanksgiving. There's games on Thursday. We don't want you to miss them. We want to get the advice to you. So drop your questions in the comments. No question goes unanswered here. And let's go ahead and get into the risers of the week. Justin Fields hadn't played a game since week 6 where he left with an injury after only 10 pass attempts, but back to the field in week 11, Justin Fields immediately finished as a top 10 quarterback. Seeing Fields healthy and finishing the game is an auto riser for me because other than the health issues, I trust his upside on a weekly basis regardless of the matchup. Unless you also roster one of the handful of elite fantasy quarterbacks, Fields is a must start every week for me at this point going forward. Tommy Devito, yes, the Giants rookie quarterback who many have joked on, saying he lives with his parents, they do his laundry and blah, blah, blah. Well, skip ahead to week 11 and Tommy Devito finished as a top 10 quarterback after throwing for 246 yards and 3 touchdowns versus the Washington Commanders. Now, we don't know if the Giants are going to switch to Tyrod Taylor when he's back or if Devito will perform good enough against the Patriots to keep his job. If I'm betting today, I say he plays well against the Patriots and keeps the starting job rest of the season, making him a riser of week 12. Jaylen Warren came into the 2023 season as the Steelers' backup running back to Najee Harris. Fast forward to week 11, and Jaylen is now the more productive running back of the duo with less carries but more yards. In week 11 versus one of the league's best defenses, Harris couldn't get anything going, but Warren had over 100 yards rushing and a touchdown. Jaylen finished the week as RB2, and after rising within the Steelers' backfield, he's doing the same amongst the top ranks in the NFL. Gus Edwards finished week 11 as the RB5, and on the season, he's the RB10 with almost 600 rushing yards, over 100 receiving yards, and 10 touchdowns. Gus now has scored touchdowns 5 weeks in a row, scoring 9 touchdowns from week 7 through 11. There really isn't a matchup where you're going to sit Edwards, as the Ravens don't have a legitimate reason to turn anywhere else in the lineup. Gus Edwards has scored multiple touchdowns per game 3 of the last 4 weeks, and the Ravens are winning, so expect the production to keep on going. With the loss of Mark Andrews, the Ravens are going to have to find more pass catchers to pick up the slack. Odell Beckham Jr. the last 3 weeks has scored double-digit points in PPR scoring. He did get injured in the game, but it shouldn't be anything significant. Expect things to continue to trend upward for Beckham, who at 31 is keeping himself relevant, even after sitting out all the 2022 season to get himself healthy. Now, I was mentioning this wide receiver before the season even started, and again countless times throughout the season, but yet I still feel like I haven't said enough. Tank Dell is absolutely crushing it. 4 weeks with 20 plus fantasy points. In fact, 2 of the last 3 weeks with damn near 30 points in PPR scoring. CJ Stroud liked what he saw in Tank Dell's route running so much that he asked the Texans to draft him, and the man was right. Flat out, Tank is a must start wide receiver, so keep those start sit questions with him and just lock him into your lineup. Deshaun Watson is out for the season, and typically it's not a good thing when a team loses its starting quarterback. However, in the case of Browns tight end David Njoku and new rookie quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson, things are actually looking up. Njoku scored the second most points of the season for himself with the rookie quarterback running the ship, and in just the week 11 game alone, he had 15 targets. DTR is clearly comfortable with using Njoku as a safety net, so his stock is on the rise for the rest of the season. Now, this tight end riser has nothing to do with talent just being realized because we knew George Kittle was a baller all along. Kittle's health and the load of talent in San Francisco's offense are really the 2 hurdles blocking Kittle's upside. However, for 3 weeks straight now, Kittle has scored 20 plus fantasy points with 354 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. So far, he's been pretty consistent with his health, and the other offensive weapons aren't stopping him, so he should be able to keep the double-digit points rolling. Stock up for Kittle and his overall health in the 2023 season. Now, you guys know I always have a bonus flex player for you because I want to make sure I got you guys covered. The bonus flex could be a running back, a wide receiver, or a tight end. This week, Kenneth Walker came up injured in week 11, leaving rookie running back Zach Charbonnet the lead back role for week 12 and potentially longer. Walker has had a good season so far, currently sitting at RB13 in PPR scoring, so this isn't a situation where Zach will take the job for good, especially when Walker returns. But in the meantime, while Walker is out, take advantage of the temporary rise that Charbonnet will experience in week 12 and any other week that Walker remains out. Now, if you want more fantasy football advice from Rival Fantasy Sports, which we know you do, go ahead and subscribe to this channel now for the new content, including the weekly start sit live streams that we do every single week. You can also follow us on social media for the latest app updates, promos, and of course, latest fantasy football news, all at Rival Fantasy on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, visit rivalfantasy.com today or download the Rival Fantasy app. Use our link in the description, take advantage of that special promo. That is it for today, guys. I'm out.